Genetics. Genetics is a million times more important than people will ever understand when it comes to bodybuilding. In saying that, when it comes to anything in life, genetics is one of the most important aspects. A quick example is if you're 5'2" and you want to be a professional basketball player, guess what? You're not going to be a professional basketball player. Sorry, you got dealt a fucked hand and you're not going to be a basketball player. And it's the same with bodybuilding. Some guys are given incredible genetics as far as their structure, their capability of putting on muscle, their joints, their muscle bellies, how full they are, where they attach, how long they are, how short they are, how small their waist is. This is all genetics given by God. These are things you can't necessarily change. If you have shitty genetics, there's not much you can do. You can become the best that you can become, but to become the #1 bodybuilder in the world, it's probably not going to happen. Bodybuilding is not about being the biggest. It's about genetics, aesthetics. It's about symmetry. There's a lot to it. Anyone out there who sees someone better is always gonna say, oh yeah, that's because of this, that's because, no, motherfucker, it's because they work their ass off and because they have great genetics. And just because you ain't shit doesn't mean you have to take away from how great they are.
If it was possible, this would be too fucking big. But once again, it's not possible. So even this cartoon character you see before you, Stan Lee can't draw no shit like that. Look at that. But it ain't fucking possible. If you think I'm just talking shit here, let me ask that. Kai Greene is such thing as too big?
No, sir.
He thought I just made that shit up. That's Kai Greene right there. He said the same motherfucking thing.
steps so light, I barely touch the ground. Everybody wants to know how. Brick by brick, I put them in the ground. Walk like I built, walk like I built this. Do it for my people, family business, and everybody wants to know how. Take a good look, you are now witness.
Wake up, it's a brand new day. I got a fresh breath and a full plate. Wake up, this is not a game. I'll take my fresh breath and go my own way. This is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for.
Measure my growth by the season. Limits don't exist if you don't give them reason. But everybody wants to know how. I built this dream and never had a doubt.
Walk like I built this town. Steps so big, I shook the fucking crowd. Everybody's coming at me now. I'm never coming down. This is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for.
Don't look back. Don't look back at me and act like I didn't tell you everything I'm about. I'll tell you what I live for. I'll tell you what I live for.
Wake up, this is what I live for. This is what I live for. This is what I live for. Days like this is what I live for. This is what I live for. Days like this is what I live for. Wake up, this is what I live for. This is what I live for. Wake up, this is what I live for. This is what I live for. Don't look back. Don't look back at me and act like I didn't tell you everything I'm about. I'll tell you what I live for. 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 I'll tell you what I live for.
understand when it comes to bodybuilding. In saying that, when it comes to anything in life, genetics is one of the most important aspects. A quick example is if you're 5'2" and you want to be a professional basketball player, guess what? You're not going to be a professional basketball player. Sorry, you got dealt a fucked hand and you're not going to be a basketball player. And it's the same with bodybuilding. Some guys are given incredible genetics as far as their structure, their capability of putting on muscle, their joints, their muscle bellies, how full they are, where they attach, how long they are, how short they are, how small their waist is. This is all genetics given by God. These are things you can't necessarily change. If you have shitty genetics, there's not much you can do. You can become the best that you can become. But to become the #1 bodybuilder in the world, it's probably not going to happen. Bodybuilding is not about being the biggest. It's about genetics, aesthetics. It's about symmetry. There's a lot to it. Anyone out there who sees someone better is always gonna say, oh yeah, that's because of this, that's because, no, motherfucker, it's because they work their ass off and because they have great genetics. And just because you ain't shit doesn't mean you have to take away from how great they are.
If it was possible, this would be too fucking big. But once again, it's not possible. So even this cartoon character you see before you, Stan Lee can't draw no shit like that. Look at that. But it ain't fucking possible. If you think I'm just talking shit here, let me ask that. Kai Greenie is such thing as too big?
No, sir.
He thought I just made that shit up. That's Kai Greenie right there. He said the same motherfucking thing.
me make one thing clear. You come at us with whatever weapons that you have in your arsenal, but there is no weapon as powerful as that of an idea whose time has come.
We all start out equal. Little blobs of blood and muscle. It's a setup of awesome potential. Most people never develop that potential. I knew early on I was not most people. Because if you're willing to do the work, you can have anything.
To get power, you need to display absolute pettiness. To exercise power, you need to show true greatness. Such pettiness and such greatness are rarely found in one person.
You might get hit by unforeseen things. People might get hit by, you have cancer, you have diabetes, but your life doesn't stop there. You get back up and you keep competing to the best of your ability. You know, from the day when I was a kid, I was watching cartoons, and I remember watching superheroes. I get to reenact that every time I step into the cage. You know, this is something I've dreamed about and I hope for. I've been able to help change lives and impact lives in a positive way. And guys, that's what I'm here for.
It's about the journey and not necessarily a destination. I don't know if I'm ever where I want to be. I learn every day and I want to be better than I am. I'm not upset about where I'm at. It's going in, training my ass off, and just learning.
Pre-washed chicken tenderloins, already cut. Basically, there's no fat on them.
Don't step by. Walk all the way. Come on.
A lot of people ask me about diet. They ask me how much percent is diet, how much percent is training. Well, training is 100%, of course, but diet is the other 100%. There's no 20% or 50% one, 50% the other.
Hey, give me 10. All right. Come on, come on. Come on, Jason. You can do it. Good, good, good. There you go. That's how you get this. Big python.
It's got a different flavor to it. It's not plain, it's more of a fluorescent flavor. And you smell it while it's cooking.
Take them back and go. Go. And some scat.
Come on, walk. Pick up your dumbbells. Come on, Jimmy.
Oh, Jim.
Take your dumbbells.
Let's do it, man.
When the bodybuilders of yesteryear did take steroids, they didn't take them in the massive dosages that the bodybuilders today are taking. You know, steroids are just a finishing touch for the bodybuilder, and the thing is, more is not better. So that's the thing on steroids. It's not the steroids that make a champion, but it's the hard training, the dedication, the dieting, the sacrifice, and the genetics that that person has, what makes that champion.
Shit. Good job.
Anybody can do that. It was easy.
Yeah.
See, that opens up. That's all bound in there. See, yeah. You've had so much steroid because that's how, like that rear delt thing. That's lean.
Step.
Running toward their dreams, life has a special kind of meaning. And here's what I will share with you. That in the process of working on your dreams, you are going to incur a lot of disappointment, a lot of failure, a lot of pain, a lot of setbacks, a lot of defeats. But in the process of doing that, you will discover some things about yourself that you don't know right now. What you will realize is that you have greatness within you. What you'll realize is that you're more powerful than you can ever begin to imagine.
Telling you as I leave, I was homeless for 2.5 years. And the problem with most of you, you never felt no pain before. Y'all spoiled.
Because I tell you, I'm down here, face down, and you see, I will try 100 times to get up, and if I fail 100 times, if I fail and I give up, do you think that I'm ever gonna get up? No. But if I fail, I try again, and again, and again. For as long as I try, there's always that chance of getting up. Does that make sense?
I want to represent an idea. I want to represent possibilities. I want to represent the idea that you really can make what you want.
If you're not where you want to be, it's because you're not who you need to be right now. And dreaming and hoping is not going to change your situation. Like, you know, if I got a hater, I'm not saying, well, my hater, I don't waste time talking about them. I don't waste time, you know, getting engaged in the stuff that they want me to get engaged. I stay focused and do what I'm supposed to do. But I listen to them to see, is there anything they're saying that's proper that I can adjust? Sometimes in life, you have to hit back. It's not always going to be easy. They're not going to give it to you. They're not going to give you success. They're not going to put it on the platter. But if you're willing to work for it, if you're willing to put the sweat, the blood, the tears, if you're willing to earn it, they don't give away Bentleys. They're never on sale.
Nobody believes in you. You've lost again and again and again. The lights are cut off, but you're still looking at your dream, reviewing it every day and say to yourself, it's not over until I win.
Power that making a choice, right? You just decide what it's going to be, who you're going to be, how you're going to do it. Just decide.
Told her then, I said, you know what, Mom, I'm going to either be a professional football player or a professional bodybuilder. And she looked me dead in the eye and said, you know what, I believe you. She said, you're going to be a professional something. You know, whatever you put your mind to, you know, I know you'll do it. And, you know, you'll get it done. You know, and I never forgot that. Don't quit.
Something you never finished, something you really want to do, something you never said to someone, something. And you're told no, even after you pay your dues. Who's got the right to tell you that? Who? Nobody. It's your right to listen to your gut. It ain't nobody's right to say no after you earn the right to be where you want to be and do what you want to do. I had to teach myself early on, expect to fail. Expect it, covet it, welcome it, it's going to happen, but it's not a permanent state.
I mean, isn't it about time you do that? Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the fucking mold, guys. You get the fuck out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. Don't get so overloaded with the temporary pain of the situation. Think past the pain to the pride that pain it creates.
You got to get up and say, I want to be a champion, and I do whatever it takes.
The dieting, the training of 2 and 3 hours a day, the different workout partners and different gyms and traveling and the expectations and the stress of bodybuilding, the relationships that come and go. Those are the things I'll remember.
You know, the older I get, the more things I gotta leave behind. That's life.
I can't do it forever. And for me, the fun of it's the journey.
What could happen for you if you turned around and just decided to believe? You got to start somewhere. And sometimes the road back is not just as simple as saying, okay, well, I will now start to walk back towards sanity from my insanity.
I love being told no. It just means yes.
I welcome that. It's the journey.
Everything's mental. Everything's a thought. You know, you create your reality with your thoughts. You just live in a virtual reality world, and you make it what you build your story with your mind. You know, and I built this story. I wanted to be Mr. Olympia. That starts with a thought. Then come the actions, and I learned from that I can apply that to many things, you know, and you can bring things into your reality.
If your goal is to have a perfect body, a perfect developed body, you have to go on forever.
In my house, you'll see one.
You have to go on forever.
I knew all along that it doesn't matter if I go down to 200 or to 160 pounds, because if I make my mind up, it doesn't matter how much weight it is.
All of that came together when they raised my arms in victory, man. I felt I was on top of the world then. So we come down to Mr. Olympia, I'm like, man, if I can make the top 3, this will be better than a dream come true, you know, because I know I never win, because like I said, I just got in this sport just to keep my free membership to the gym.
You had to have a job too, because nobody was paying for your supplements or anything like that. You had to have a job, so you worked, went to the gym, go to school.
You know, I had to do it. It was life or death kind of passion that I put into it. It's not possible to be training harder or more consistently or more dedicated than me, because I couldn't give a single ounce more to any aspect of this thing that I'm doing.
So here I'm preparing for the first go round, man, and I peaked at 243 pounds. I entered the show at 233 pounds. The same weight I won the IFBB World Championship. So what happened to the 10 pounds? What happened?
And already I could see the tide turning, you know, as Ligani placing third ahead of me, Samir winning it. I figure, well, this is it. I got to retire sometime. That was it. I'm in great shape. I'm going out looking my best. So that was the last show.
Because I knew when I peaked at 243, with symmetry, balance, with the look of Robbie, with the look of Arnold, and a posing routine like a Frank Zane, but you know, with the movement of Frank Zane or Ed Corning, then that was the winning combination.
I love the whole concept of bodybuilding. You know, it's an individual sport, and of course you have the options as to which direction he wants to go into. And you know, I made my start back in the 50s.
This guy's in incredible shape here at 78 years old. How do you stay in shape at this age? What's your workout like now?
Heavy. Say if it hasn't changed, I'm still here. You can't get rid of me.
When she goes up, big enough.
It's stupid. Big man.
Do it.
I went with Lee Haney to New York for his first Mr. Olympia win, and he won that show. And it was just one of the greatest experiences. I turned pro, and my good friend ended up winning Mr. Olympia. You know, I'm this 21-year-old cocky kid, thinking, man, I can go right into the Mr. Olympia. The show, and I still knew there was Lee Haney. This Lee Haney was just at that time was a freak.
I got to tell you that what was running through my mind as came down to the wire, and the announcer said, and the winner is Lee, because we're both Lees. It was like a feeling of being like at the edge of a cliff, and I got to tell you that I was either going to jump off and soar, or I was going to fall to the bottom and crash. And it was the feeling of a free fall when Haney's name was called for first place. You know, entering the pro ranks at 175 pounds can be a daunting challenge for anybody.
Yeah, I put myself through, tough preparation. Good enough, we managed to win it. We got it done.
Supplements are good, but you know, you can spend a lot of money on them where you can get the same benefit from food. So I said if I had to pick one supplement, just a good protein.
Eduardo's system of training is that he eats a phenomenal amount of food. And everyone thought that, God, I'm a bodybuilder, so I must eat just like Eduardo did. And the truth is, I don't. I don't eat 12 egg omelets. I eat maybe 2. Okay. They were totally mystified by the fact that I didn't eat as much.
It's a human nature. When you can't have something you want it. You know, when off season, I see the ice cream or the cake, I really don't care for it. But after 1 week of diet, Jesus Christ, I want it, give me that. I want to eat anything.
Isn't it amazing how a guy that's 58 years old can look this good? Geez, I hope to be living at age 58 rather than be competing for the Olympia title.
200 pounds even.
I said it's a great sport, it can be healthy, but you just got to train smart, whether it comes to training, eating. If you're going to go that route and use drugs, well, do it safely. You know, if you're going to use them, don't abuse them. So, like I said, you want to get in this sport to be healthy and have longevity. You don't just want to come into the sport and say, hey, I'm going to be big, and then, you know, in 6 years' time, you're sick and got problems and, you know, end up dead. So, like I said, if you're going to do it, just be smart about it and enjoy it. That's the main thing. Just have fun with it. You know, some people take it too serious, so where it's like bodybuilding 24/7. That's all they think about, and they have no outside life. You got to have a life outside of the gym as well. So you just got to enjoy it. I've got a Bible. If you came over and burned my Bible, I don't give a shit. I'll go buy another one. It's just a book. They're all fucking fairy tales anyway. It's all full of shit. So who cares what God you believe in? Some believe in a fucking elephant. Some believe in this. Some believe in that. Who cares? It's a fucking book. If they burn your Quran, they burn the Bible, they burn whatever, who gives a shit? There's plenty more out there to buy, okay? And as long as you believe it in your head and your heart, a book, you don't need it to symbolise what you believe. Simple. Won my first 3 contests at 13, and from then on, all the guys I compete against now are always my role models and people I looked up to. So even now it's still funny to be on the same stage as them, because, you know, they're the people I looked up to, and because I'm short I still look up to them, but it's sort of, you know, it just feels strange. And I never consider myself a professional. I always just consider myself as someone who trains and wants to do the best they can do. So it's still sort of like a thing to me. Sometimes you wonder if you're dreaming or whatever, but, you know, I just go and have fun. People take contests too serious, which I never do, you know. I just enjoy the training, so if I didn't compete it wouldn't bother me, and that's it. But, you know, I just enjoy it, and I like seeing all the fans there, so it should be fun. And just like I said, go to the gym and enjoy it. At the moment I'm just training 6 days a week still train every day, and have my heavy days, have my lighter days, but like I said, it's just going to the gym and training and enjoying it. It's crazy, you know, in this sport there's a lot of fragile egos, and some people that run the sport, they have egos too, so it's just crazy. It's like, it's a good sport, but sometimes the people that run it are pretty fucked up, so. I just listen to the body. If I'm hungry, I eat. If I'm not hungry, I don't eat. So we all get stereotyped as bodybuilders that you're all fucking meatheads and idiots and stuff like that. So it happens to all races, sports people, anything. You get grouped in because of some bad ones. People ask you a question, they want to know the truth. When you tell them the truth, you get in trouble. So people say, tell me this, tell me that. When you tell them, oh, you shouldn't have said that, I'm like, well, you asked me. Just train smart, you know, do the exercises properly, use good form, because so many young kids these days are watching a lot of these training videos where some of the pros are using bad form, and the young kids think they have to go that heavy and use bad form, and you always got to concentrate on good form, use a weight that you can handle correctly, don't just try and throw weights around just for the sake of it. I can only do my best, and you know, I might be short like 5'4", but the muscle mass I carry just as much muscle mass as someone 5'11", 6 foot, so you know, it's up to the judges what they want and what they're looking for, but you know, I can only come in my best shape, which I will be, and then it's out of my hands after that.
There's a spiritual aspect to training and to sport. As an athlete, you almost go to some places or zones or something, almost you shift a little bit under extreme stress and pain. Sometimes it just kind of melts away and you go to a different place.
a small gym in Birmingham, which is pretty much my base for my own training. It's in a basement and it's really hardcore. It's just very heavy weights, nothing fancy. It's just strictly geared towards hardcore bodybuilding. There was a lot of unemployment at the time in England, and I didn't have much direction in my life, so I spent a lot of time partying and drinking and things like that and getting into trouble. So when I started bodybuilding, it was something really, I felt, you know, something really positive that I could put my energy into.
Some competitor thinks you can't win, that they're gonna whip your ass. And then 4 standouts later, they still talking. Don't be that dude.